On the other side, in the student council room, red hair smoking a cigarette asked, has Lu Xing already entered the first martial saint tower? Did Bai Hengchuan not make a move? Purple hair replied, Lu Xing entered half an hour ago. Bai Hengchuan tried to stop him, but it was futile. Red hair was shocked. Could it be that even with all his cards played, Bai Hengchuan couldn't stop Lu Xing? How many moves did Lu Xing use to defeat Bai Hengchuan? Purple hair said with an embarrassed look, half a move. Upon hearing this, red hair was shocked. According to purple hair, Lu Xing had merely revealed his martial saint will, not even making a move, and he had already melted Bai Hengchuan's martial will. At these words, red hair collapsed to the ground, unable to even imagine what the melting of a martial will look like. Purple hair asked, should we also go out and stop him? Red hair, trembling, said, stop what? Hell, my strength is roughly equal to Bai Hengchuan's. Should I go and get myself killed? Purple hair was furious, cursing Lu Xing. Purple hair had planned to follow in Tan Zhongyu's footsteps and ascend to Grandmaster quickly, but was completely dominated by the suddenly emerged devil, Lu Xing. 2 hours later, the entire school was abuzz with major news. Lu Xing had broken 7 towers in 3 days, topping the charts and hailed as the foremost below Grandmasters. That night, Lu Xing returned to the Dream Ai and asked Ai to open up his life record. Although fame in the real world wasn't very useful to him, he was still curious to see if he could become a saint in reality. His daily routine being just training, eating, sleeping, and showing off. Not that he was asking for it, but they simply didn't understand how satisfying it was to crush a strong and disliked opponent with one hand. It seems I have achieved the status of martial saint in this life, although it's still far from my goal of reaching level 12. Looking back at my life, Lu Xing is a martial arts prodigy, having won first place in the National College Martial Arts Competition in the same year and killed a Grandmaster level martial artist from the Extreme Way Martial Arts School on the field, becoming famous in the capital. Lu Xing is curious why he would kill someone, especially in a competition. The Grandmaster from the Extreme Way Martial Arts School had the backing of a martial saint. What could possibly make me take the risk of offending a martial saint to kill a Grandmaster? Looks like this is a question for later. Let's move on to what comes next. At 19, Lu Xing was taken in by martial saint Tan Zhongyu as the third disciple, became a great Grandmaster at 32, and advanced to martial saint before the age of 70, establishing the Saint Martial Hall and being known as complete martial saint. Eventually, he passed away at the age of 161 from exhaustion of mental energy in the 457th year of the martial era. Not bad, complete martial saint, founding the Martial Saint Hall. That's quite an achievement. He lived a shorter life than in his previous Grandmaster life, probably due to exhaustion of mental energy. It seems that mastering the complete martial path is indeed challenging. I must continue to strive. While excited, Lu Xing's fingers landed on the Spouse Information tab. Though extremely curious, he thought of unlocking several new characters each time and decided not to look. It might disturb his Dao heart. Finally, when Lu Xing wanted to inquire about exotic beast information, he found he lacked the necessary permissions. What kind of secret could there be that even a martial saint isn't qualified to know? It seems he could only check the origin of the exotic beast. He randomly tapped, and a multitude of various explanations appeared, indicating that this matter couldn't be explained in just a few words. Lu Xing started checking the third stage method of the undying golden body. He hasn't even completed the second stage yet. If only he had access to unlimited beast marrow like last time in the Eastern Military District, although that old Mr. Bai would probably cry to death. Then, the Grandmaster content on the natural breathing technique is very profound, aiming for unity between man and nature, the connection between humans and the universe, such an abstract concept that might be hard to grasp quickly. Currently, the biggest benefit of the natural breathing technique for Lu Xing is its rapid recovery rate and efficiency boost in cultivation. The next moment, Lu Xing's eyes sharpened. A Grandmaster level could actually use the ability of will projection, using one's mental power to simulate another person's martial will. Truly terrifying. Such a genius idea. Perhaps only a madman could create such a technique. Thinking this, Lu Xing couldn't help but wonder if the dream space he was currently in was also created by projection, which is why he could perfectly inherit the wills of the zombies he killed in dreams. Not only that, but Lu Xing also felt he was touching the edge of some truth, yet a thick fog prevented him from seeing clearly. It seems this world is much more complex than imagined. After speaking, Lu Xing exited the dream space. However, Ai in the dream remained staring dazedly at Lu Xing's martial saint information panel. Soon her eyes began to emit a golden glow. Lu Xing discovered that the Grandmaster level visualization technique possessed projection abilities, so he immediately tried to construct the will of a Valkyrie, but the will just formed dissolved in less than 2 seconds. After several attempts, he still couldn't construct a projection with his mental power. Clearly, this will projection wasn't so simple. Compared to the Martial Saint Tower, the dream space felt more like a complete world. Aside from the sensations of hunger and excretion, everything else felt real. If both were to be likened to games, the Martial Saint Tower would be too sketchy, still requiring more players to participate in programming, while the dream space was more like a top-tier production, difficult to distinguish from reality. So, Lu Xing wasn't in a hurry. This wasn't something that could be achieved overnight. Now, after several trials in the Martial Saint Tower, his progress in the crystal visualization technique had significantly improved. Lu Xing could feel that his body could now accommodate a third Grandmaster will, if he didn't harvest some soon. With his current rate of strength increase, it wouldn't be long before even the will of a Grandmaster would seem beneath his notice. He would need the will of a great Grandmaster. However, with his current strength, facing a great Grandmaster still exerted some pressure. Lu Xing arrived at a city gate. Finally found you. The third will I have my eye on. Big guy. Hello there. Come then. Complete martial path second stage. The big guy used all his strength to withstand this strike, ultimately unable to resist, half his body destroyed. Lu Xing didn't expect this guy's defensive power to be so strong. If he were in perfect condition, perhaps even Grandmaster Tan Zhongyu wouldn't be able to break his defense. Alright, heroic spirit undying, let me inherit your will. Sure way, your talent is too poor, always a step slower than others, totally unsuited for practicing martial arts. What if I take an extra step, do it a step earlier? Hearing this, the teacher sighed. As he grew up, Sure Wei, due to his poor qualifications and abilities, was rejected by the city's guard squad. Undeterred, Sure Wei could only seek other opportunities. That very afternoon, he faced strong opposition from his mother for joining a hunter squad, which meant leaving the base and facing a life and death situation. Sure Wei could only give a naive smile, assuring his mother that he would surely survive. Look at this fool, he barely has any strength and he's thinking of saving others. To grab a few zombie fragments he almost lost his life. Truly foolish. Probably next time he will die in the mouth of an exotic beast. The scene shifts. What did you say? You say that fool Sure Wei advanced to level 6? Don't lie to me. The scene switches again to a hospital where an anxious Sure Wei rushes in. The doctor reassures him, everything is fine, you have a daughter. Sure Wei sheds rare tears, knowing he needs to become stronger, strong enough to protect his family. After that day, the fool Sure Wei advances to Grandmaster at the age of 72. In the year 11,024 of the martial calendar, during an exotic beast tide that attacked base 1359, Grandmaster Sure Wei held the gate 27 steadfastly, never retreating no matter how formidable the exotic beasts he faced. Is this truly the life of fool Sure Wei? Compared to Tan Zhongyu, Sure Wei is truly a late bloomer, labeled a fool from childhood, yet able to step into the realm of Grandmaster in his venerable years. 60 years past the peak of martial artists. Before his death, his strength was at the threshold of a great Grandmaster, and his path of Grandmaster even held the potential to reach the 9th level of martial saint. Sure Wei's path has always been one of protection, which in some ways is also Lu Xing's path. Since gaining the dream space, what Lu Xing has sought to do is protect his family, the future of humanity, and all that he cherishes. Sure Wei researched and pondered for 10 years like the richest aged wine. Lu Xing threw a punch towards the distance, admiring his own precise control of power. He even managed to accurately hit a tardigrade in the distance without damaging the walls. When Lu Xing saw the core of Sure Wei, he was shocked and his mouth fell open. This martial will is so powerful. It was a power that could shake hills with one's own strength, and it was this unyielding will that pushed Sure Wei's will to the extreme. This move directly penetrated Lu Xing's mind, named Bright Lord Casting Mountains. The Bright Lord, like an unmovable mountain, indestructible and unshakable, with a heart full of great compassion that nothing can disturb, and wisdom too deep for others to fathom. When the Bright Lord is enraged, heaven and earth change color, making the evil demons that harass living beings flee in fear. Such a formidable aura, even Lu Xing, who had activated the earth-breathing technique, couldn't help but be astonished. Under his feet lay an endless power like roots, immovable like a Vajra king, yet also dynamic like one. Such potent potential in Sure Wei, even Grandmaster Tan Zhongyu had not demonstrated such a capacity. So, this unassuming little stone is Sure Wei's Grandmaster will, plain yet as stable as mount. The golden crystal humanoid within Lu Xing, which was nearing stability, seemed to reach its limit with the addition of Sure Wei's Grandmaster will. He had thought he could accommodate several more, but it turned out that just adding one more was too much. Although Lu Xing could immediately advance to the Grandmaster realm, he had a premonition that doing so according to the stellar body refinement technique would immediately disrupt the balance within his body. The most likely outcome would be the absorption or expulsion of all wills other than the stellar Grandmaster will. However, these wills are also important to him. This definitely wouldn't do. If he can't fully integrate, he could only reach up to level 11, unable to step onto the path of level 12. Unable to think of a solution on the first day, Lu Xing decided to take a stroll in the market, as he had been in the capital for so long without truly exploring it. Lu Xing noticed two people playing chess on the side, and, driven by curiosity, he went over to watch. The chessboard, pieces of different colors fighting each other, starkly resembled the various Grandmaster wills within him, distinct yet difficult to integrate. Wait, these round chess pieces, there's a strange idea, but it suddenly breaks off. Oh well, after thinking for a long time to no avail, it's time to fill his stomach. Subsequently, Lu Xing ordered a bowl of noodles with soybean paste. Then, he noticed two children watching TV in front. sound, which made him feel a bit homesick. Since he steamrolled through the Seven Saints Towers, his career at the Martial Holy University was nearing its end. Looking at the noodles brought by the owner, Lu Xing zoned out again. Everything looked like martial philosophy to him. He believed that his complete martial path would also be like this bowl of noodles, various ingredients mixed together making it even more delicious. Unexpectedly, eating a bowl of noodles yielded a little insight. Slurping away. Boss, 5 more bowls of noodles, please. Seeing Lu Xing's hearty appetite, the owner guessed that he must be a martial arts practitioner. Many martial arts prodigies of levels 3 and 4 come to eat here too. Young man, I'll give you a fried egg, and next time bring your girlfriend along. Seeing the round fried egg, Lu Xing enjoyed his meal even more, as if all circular objects were related to his complete martial path. At that moment, several voices caught Lu Xing's attention. A boy was saying that the rage form of Superman was the strongest, while a little girl argued that the frost form of Superman was the strongest. Seeing this, Lu Xing's eyes lit up, the ability to switch between rage and frost modes at will. Just then, a couple walked into the noodle shop. According to them, although the shop was run down, the taste was excellent. They would come here every time they had a breakthrough. Now he had broken through to level 2 as a martial artist and had a bigger appetite due to the increased energy consumption. The girl looked around and said, "Look at that guy. He has an even bigger appetite than you. Probably his martial arts skills aren't weak either." At this moment, Lu Xing was completely immersed in his thoughts, feeling that he could integrate various wills in multiple ways. But how could he further advance his complete martial path? Then, he noticed a superhero's finishing move on TV. Die now. Activate blazing circle flame. Lu Xing watched, stunned, then suddenly stood up. Right, that's it. Why didn't I think of that? Currently, using the circle as the foundation of his martial arts, from a physical standpoint, the circle is the most perfect shape, outlining the contours of the complete Grandmaster path. After that, what color can represent my martial arts? The ice and fire could be represented by blue and red, and the previously absorbed Shirwei's will could be yellow, but mine is different. The next moment, Lu Xing's eyes snapped open as he exclaimed, "Gray! Yes, gray! It can represent mystery and the unknown, as well as all potential possibilities. The complete martial path rules over all paths, encompassing everything, indeed, but ruling over all paths doesn't mean it has to dominate them. Currently, I'm just a level 6 martial artist. Creating a martial path greater than a level 11 fighter is unrealistic. So, how can I fully integrate all of you together now? I've got it. This should work." This sudden insight might make one think he's gone daft from watching children's cartoons. Lu Xing didn't even finish his meal, hastily returning to his dormitory. As he focused his thoughts, a golden energy aura began to manifest around him. Now, he only felt a scorching aura sweeping through his body, cold energy washing over his flesh and bones, and a gentle power forging his deeper self. A large amount of impurities within his body were purged, nearing the completion of the second stage of the undying golden body. His spiritual power and vital energy and blood became increasingly clear and brilliant, and Lu Xing felt this was a more lucid and deeper state. It immersed in the free-floating energy of heaven and earth. The next moment, Lu Xing fell into the water. Even though it's a space of consciousness, why is there a real sensation of choking on water? The next moment, Lu Xing was bewildered. The Valkyrie was actually attacking Shirwei. What kind of situation is this? Shirwei was also attacking the Valkyrie. There are 3 different wills fighting each other in my own mind. Probably no one would believe this if I told them, but if I leave it be, I'll eventually go mad from the conflict of these 3 wills and die. No matter the situation, I only have one choice. Lu Xing shouted forward, "Brothers, look this way." The next moment, a dark stream of energy appeared in the palm of Lu Xing's right hand. I, Lu Xing, established the complete Grandmaster path in my youth, aiming for level 12, the step that Wang Yi couldn't take. I will take it. What Wang Yi couldn't do, I will accomplish. The power you can control, I can control. The power you cannot control, I can still control. At this moment, Lu Xing's voice was loud and roaring. If you can become the cornerstone of the complete martial path, why would you resist? Then, 3 colors of will energy converged in Lu Xing's hand, and following an explosion, the wills formed a large wheel. The outer circle was each type of will, and the center was the convergence of the complete martial path. It seems it was a success. The complete martial path, truly my own martial will, stellar will. Meanwhile, in the vice principal's office, the vice principal felt an unprecedented spiritual power nearby, and, scared of an enemy attack, yelled out, "What's happening?" His secretary, alarmed, rushed in. The vice principal reassured her that nothing was amiss and asked her to arrange for Lu Xing to be summoned. The secretary was also puzzled, as ever since the last incident where the vice principal broke out of a window, he had become unusually sensitive. But the vice principal had just felt the presence of a level 7 mind weaver. Could it have been an illusion? On the other side, an entire building was now enveloped in spiritual power. Not bad. After refining my own Grandmaster will, my spiritual power has reached such a level. Before, I could only roughly sense external objects, but now I can clearly observe everything touched by my spiritual power. I'm definitely beyond level 6 now, but I'm not sure if I've reached level 7. The most important thing now was to test the effects of the complete Grandmaster Grandmaster path. Saying this, Lu Xing clapped his hands together, and a golden Dharmakaya of Vajra appeared behind him. Next, he switched to earth breathing, and energy surged toward the ground. As Lu Xing raised his hands, the massive rocks and earth began to float upwards. The next moment was the cold halberd prison of the ice system. Under the control of ice breathing, ice rapidly contracted as water turns into ice. Even more wondrous was its ability to consolidate what it hit. Finally, the newly transformed stellar will, a domineering flame, enveloped Lu Xing's body. Now it was the complete version of the stellar will, which was more than 10 times stronger than Shi Xingning's Grandmaster will. If Lu Xing now used the stellar grip to execute 10 suns in the sky, he might even be able to kill a great Grandmaster of the Martial Saint Tower. Although uncertain, he was eager to try. Just then, Lu Xing saw two people sneakily arguing about who should knock on the door. After all, in their minds, this was the fortress of a great demon, where one could lose their life in an instant. Lu Xing's success had scared them to the point of soul departure. "Do you have any business standing at my door?" Following the stuttering reply of the two, it turned out they were there to convey a message from the vice principal. After delivering the message, the two ran off. How terrifying! The aura emitted by this demon is both fiery hot and chilling cold. I'm a level 5 martial artist, but in front of Lu Xing, I dare not even breathe heavily. Next time, let someone else come. I'm not coming back even if I'm killed. 2 minutes later, Lu Xing arrived at the vice principal's office. The vice principal had two things to convey. The first was about the school credits awarded for Lu Xing's sweeping of the 7 Martial Saint Towers records, totaling 75,000 credits. Lu Xing was expected to be excited, but he was not very clear about the concept of credits, merely responding, "Is that all?" The vice principal, frustrated, exclaimed, "You, 70,000 credits, enough for you to graduate 150 times. What else do you want?" As Lu Xing checked, he found out that credits could not only be used for graduation but also to exchange for items. For instance, level 4 Beast Blood only required 5 credits, a week's guidance from a Grandmaster level instructor cost 10 credits, and level 6 Beast Marrow Liquid was 1,000 credits per unit. Lu Xing asked, "Why isn't there any level 7 Beast Marrow Liquid?" The vice principal spit out his tea in shock, hastily asking Lu Xing what he needed it for. "Could it be that you now require level 7 items? Are you planning to advance to Grandmaster? Has your Grandmaster will fully coalesced yet?" Lu Xing sighed, indicating that he was still slightly short on vital energy and blood values. The reason being that a Grandmaster's vital energy and blood are vastly different from those of an ordinary martial artist, as they are refined through martial will. Thus, Lu Xing planned to wait until the second stage of his immortal golden body was completely finished, then use his martial will to transform the constitution of his vital energy and blood. Hearing Lu Xing's casual remarks, the vice principal was so shocked that he was at a loss for words. Becoming a Grandmaster isn't something you can just achieve by piling up resources, and here he is, just 18 years old, with a Grandmaster will already formed, a true young Grandmaster. Still, the vice principal helplessly responded, "Level 7 Beast Marrow Liquid is hard to come by even in military districts, with complicated procedures and a need for power verification. This is because the flesh cells of level 7 exotic beasts contain a huge amount of negative factors, which current technology levels cannot fully eliminate. If taken, individuals without sufficient strength could be directly eroded by the residual martial will of the level 7 exotic beast. Hence, even Grandmasters rarely use level 7 products. It's damaging to both the spirit and the body. Given that, let's settle for level 6 then. It's manageable with some adjustment." Although 70 units is a bit low, the vice principal couldn't help but complain, "It's really disheartening to compare people. I only used 10 level 6 units when I became a Grandmaster." The next moment, the vice principal took out 2 envelopes and indicated that the martial saint had agreed to take Lu Xing as a disciple after learning of his circumstances, but whether he could become a true disciple still depended on passing this test. Lu Xing opened one of the envelopes, which stated he needed to become the national champion of the University Martial Arts Tournament. The vice principal explained, "The martial arts tournament isn't just for 7 Saints students but includes all college students and disciples under 30 from martial arts academies nationwide, such as Extreme Way and Transcendence Martial Arts Academies. The talents from these academies have been meticulously instructed by martial saints from a young age, making them much stronger than those educated in school martial arts programs, so this challenge is indeed tough." But Lu Xing still couldn't figure out why he will kill the Extreme Way Grandmaster. Could there be some deeper connection? However, the current test only required him to complete one of 2 options. The other option was to complete a 3S rated bounty mission, which was extremely difficult and highly dangerous. It involved killing a level 5 martial artist named Lian Yi. The description indicated that this person was cruel in nature, responsible for multiple murders, yet the reward was non-existent. Logically, killing a level 5 martial artist should be as easy as slaughtering a chicken for him, but why was it labeled as a 3S level? However, there was a family background description below. Lian Yi himself was brutal and notorious, with many crimes, and his father Lian Jibei was one of the the level 7 grandmasters under Extreme Way Martial Arts Academy. Many of Lian Ye's cases had his father's dark or indirect involvement. Additionally, Lian Ye had a close relationship with Zhao Ji, the founder of Extreme Way Martial Arts Academy. His sister Lian Su was a rare beauty and the fifth wife of Martial Saint Zhao Ji. Lian Ye's background made his position in the Extreme Way Martial Arts Academy very high, almost equivalent to that of a great grandmaster of the Extreme Way Martial Arts Academy. So the difficulty isn't in killing him, but rather the consequences of killing him. This man has done all sorts of evil, and the file even records their crimes without bothering to cover them up, presumably well known to everyone. Based on these alone, they deserve to die many times over. The Vice-Chancellor explained that this was the first 3S-rated task since the establishment of the 7 St. Martial Universities. It started because a regular worker from a clothing factory, whose 2 daughters were assaulted and murdered by Lian Yi and his father, knelt in front of the Martial Saint Tower for a month seeking justice. Eventually, the people of the St. Martial University, unable to bear the grief, decided to list the task of killing Lian Yi as a credit assignment on the task list of the 7 St. Martial Universities. However, to prevent students from mistakenly taking it, they rated it as 3S and even removed the task reward. Lu Xing wondered why not let a martial saint or vice-chancellors like you, who are also at level 7, handle it instead of making it a student credit task. What's the difference between this and doing nothing? But the vice-chancellor immediately interrupted Lu Sheng, stating that he had no idea of the terror of saint-level powerhouses. Should 2 saint-level martial artists clash, the turmoil it would cause in the country is indescribable. Therefore, this task is too involved. Killing the target would definitely lead to retaliation. This would mean offending the entire Extreme Way Martial Arts Academy, even angering a martial saint, making it a thankless task. Afterwards, Lu Xing asked the vice-chancellor to state the true purpose. Sensing Lu Xing's intelligence, the vice-chancellor said with a smile, although Lian Yi and his father are backed by the Extreme Way Martial Arts Academy and the Extreme Way Martial Saint, you have the support of Tan Martial Saint and the 7th Saints Martial University. Once you become the final disciple, do you know what that means? Lu Xing replied, a clear future. Whether it's resources or guidance, even if it provokes retaliation, it would make the opponents wary. The next moment, Lu Xing said he understood and asked the vice-chancellor for the address of the clothing factory worker who had knelt for a month. The vice-chancellor then said, the 2 options are just a test from Tan Martial Saint, so don't rush your decision. Lu Xing, your talent is exceptional, and the abilities you've shown already transcend me and most of the world's strongmen. I hope you understand what I'm saying. After Lu Xing left, a figure emerged. You've said too much today. The vice-chancellor acknowledged, admitting he didn't want to miss out on such a promising prospect. The mysterious person coldly said, only those who pass the Martial Saints test are good prospects. Otherwise, they're nothing. Even if he's a young grandmaster with great talent, it's useless. The vice-chancellor talked a lot, seemingly offering 2 choices, but Zhao Kongtai was nearly direct. The second is the correct choice. The first option, defeating all grandmasters under 30 nationwide, Zhao Kongtai feels is beyond me now, but I know from the dreamscape that I can definitely achieve it in the future. The second is extremely simple. Killing a level 5 martial artist is as easy as drinking water, and then it would force me to join Tan Zhongyu's ranks, because once Lian Yi is killed, it would surely offend the Extreme Way Martial Saint, and the only way to avoid retaliation is to seek protection from another martial saint level powerhouse. Either become his lackey or get out. Tan Zhongyu, this is really a straightforward plot. Could it be that Tan Zhongyu has seen me creatively annihilating his spirit avatars in the Martial Saint Tower, and he's already planned my future path? Although I don't want to be any hero, I must execute Lian Yi and his father because they deserve death. Even if I kill them, I won't join under Tan Zhongyu. If I can't face a threat from a martial saint directly without someone else's protection, then how can I talk about transcending Wang Yi? I won't just kill Lian Yi and his father. I also intend to defeat all the grandmasters nationwide. Only children need to make choices. I want it all. After returning from the vice-chancellor's office, Lu Xing immediately set out to carry out the task. This was an emergency task. A level 6 exotic beast had broken into the suburbs of Southern Peace, and the police quickly cordoned off the area, arranging snipers to survey the situation and waiting for Chairman Qian and others to come out from the battle. One of the underlings told the captain not to be too nervous. Several top fighters from the capital province, all at the peak of level 6, and even including one of the top 300 hunters, along with Chairman Qian, were surely enough to handle even a level 7 exotic beast. Hearing this, Captain Redhair also felt relieved. After all, there was only one level 6 exotic beast inside, and being in the top 300 of the hunter list meant one had to have solo killed 10 level 6 exotic beasts. Maybe she was overthinking it. Just then, a car approached. It was Lu Xing arriving. As Lu Xing got close, the police tried to drive him away, but Lu Xing handed over a letter and an ID to the captain, showing that he was there to carry out a mission, all as proof. After reading it, the captain remarked, nowadays, St. Martial universities are so strict with their students, sending even freshmen to carry out such high-level tasks. After retrieving retrieving his ID, Lu Xing mentioned that this was just a special case application. Red Hair was shocked for a moment because she didn't notice when he took back the letter. She was a level 4 martial artist herself, and this man was definitely no ordinary person. Then, Red Hair asked Lu Xing to wait there because he might not be needed anymore, for peak level 6 fighters had just gone in, one among the top 300 hunters, and it should be resolved quickly if all went well. Seeing Lu Xing's puzzled expression, Red Hair explained that the hunter list was an internal ranking within the Martial Association, ranked according to the level and completion of tasks. Hearing this, Lu Xing sighed. So that's how it is. Well, good. At least the trip wasn't wasted. Seeing Lu Xing so nonchalant, an underling angrily said, "Kid, didn't you hear? We said you're not needed." Before he could finish, a huge explosion occurred up front, scaring everyone into calling their units to prepare for battle. Fearing a loss of control, several of the level 6 fighters then retreated from the explosion, two entangled by tentacles, and one young martial artist screaming for his teammates to save him. But outside the police, there were only low-level fighters who could go up to rescue. They could only order the artillery to fire at full strength, but the artillery's attack was not effective, and their strongest level 6 martial artist was now lying breathlessly in front of them. As Red Hair was shouting for the medical team to urgently respond, a man angrily grabbed her by the collar and scolded, "What's with your intelligence work? It was clearly supposed to be a level 7 exotic beast, but you said it was level 6. What, level 7? This is not something our city's armed forces can handle. We need to contact headquarters immediately." Just then, Lu Xing gestured for Red Hair to wait and suggested letting him try first. "Remember to adjust the task level for me afterwards." Then, Lu Xing told everyone to rest in place and have a drink of water, saying he would be back in 2 minutes. The next moment, Lu Xing's body was wrapped in aura, and to the amazement of the onlookers, he flew alone into the building. Damn, what kind of speed is this? It's ridiculously fast. Lu Xing stood on the rooftop first using his divine sense to scan the building, then a disgusting smell hit his nose. What the hell? Why does it stink like dead sheep? Could it be that all those little cuties I saw at Rising Brightness General Star had taken a bath in advance? As Lu Xing pushed open the door, he was met with a pair of deathly eyes staring back at him. Ahead was a lump of a creature of indeterminate shape, and the man was about to be swallowed by the exotic beast. The exotic beast slowly rose to its feet, and Lu Xing got a good look at it. "So it's you, flesh-eye demon." Seeing someone approaching, the creature threw down the bodies of 2 people it had bound. Lu Xing said indifferently, "Sorry, I'm a bit late, but I will avenge you." Lu Xing closed his eyes, and when he reopened them, his surroundings had turned into a fiery hell. At that moment, Lu Xing looked like a demon. "Don't worry, big mouth worm, I won't let you die that easily." Faced with Lu Xing's arrogant provocation, the exotic beast opened its cherry-sized mouth and roared angrily. Lu Xing found it strange that this exotic beast had suddenly appeared here, especially since it clearly had the strength of a level 7. Watching a giant hand slowly descend, Lu Xing didn't dodge. After the exotic beast's hand struck and quickly withdrew, it yelped in pain. From the smoke, a giant foot slowly stepped forward. "Hey, noisy meatworm, didn't you have lunch?" The next moment, the exotic beast's tongue shot out like a divine weapon toward Lu Xing, who merely shifted slightly to the left to dodge the attack. "Hey, big bug, can't you aim a little better?" The frustrated big bug spat out a mouthful of cilantro juice, which was corrosive. Just as the cilantro juice was about to hit Lu Xing, he disappeared again. Before the big bug could react, Lu Xing's fist, wrapped in flames and accompanied by freezing ice, reached the big bug's left side. "Come on, you can start trembling now." Meanwhile, outside the building, upon hearing Red Hair's introduction, Big Guy exclaimed in shock, "What, you're saying that kid is just a freshman from the 7th St. Martial University?" Red Hair confirmed with absolute certainty, having personally seen his student ID and mission credentials. Despite this, Big Guy still found it unbelievable. With that speed he just showed, not to mention a freshman, even a graduate couldn't possibly manage that. That terrifying speed, even I, a peak level 6, couldn't detect a trace. What kind of background does this kid have? Another middle-aged man suggested, "We should report this to the Martial Association and the military. Although this kid is impressive, if he angers the exotic beast and it escapes into the city, it's no joking matter, especially since it can absorb humans to grow stronger." Hearing this, Red Hair immediately took out her phone to make the call. Suddenly, a loud bang from inside the building interrupted Red Hair, and at that moment inside the building, the big bug was gasping for air. Lu Xing then grabbed the big bug's left hand and started flinging it around, causing the big bug to fly chaotically inside the building. Before long, green blood burst from its body. "Ah, this thing is so fragile. It pops so easily. That's really weak." The next moment, an explosion rocked the building, and a huge figure flew out, causing the mortals outside to panic and scream, "Quick, get away. The exotic beast is coming out." A second later, the huge body crashed in front of them. "What's the situation? Is the exotic beast dead?" He was inside for less than 5 minutes. Then Lu Xing appeared in front of them, stating that the mission was complete and to remember to adjust the difficulty report. A man with yellow hair bowed to thank Lu Xing for his intervention, mentioning that the proceeds from the sale of the flesh-eye demon's Lusheng's body would be credited to his account promptly. Lu Sheng shook his head in refusal and instructed Yellow Hair to distribute the proceeds from the exotic beast to the families of the deceased, as a single level 7 exotic beast could sustain several families who had lost their breadwinners for the rest of their lives. His straightforward words deeply moved Yellow Hair. Afterwards, Lu Sheng asked Red Hair to call him a taxi to catch the high-speed train, but Red Hair insisted on driving him there herself. Lu Sheng smiled in gratitude, causing Red Hair to blush, lost in a reverie about this powerful yet gentle man. Lu Sheng was speechless. If you don't want to drive, why not just say no? It was just a near level 7 exotic beast. How could it have slipped through the front lines and ended up in a small city like Southern Peace? Although such incidents had occurred before, they were usually not very powerful, and most were killed by the military and martial association a few hundred kilometers within the national borders. What kind of conspiracy could be behind all this? After dealing with the invasive exotic beast, Red Hair offered to take Lu Sheng to the high-speed train station. However, since it wasn't far from home, Lu Sheng decided to visit his sister first. Soon after the exotic beast was handled, news from the investigation bureau appeared online, indicating that the beast was likely a spy smuggled from the Lion Kingdom, causing the invasion incident. Witnessing these hostilities, Lu Sheng felt inexplicably angry, thinking about the civilization's demise in 10,000 years, akin to a group of inept teammates causing internal divisions. Lion Kingdom, once I'm strong enough, I'll squash them myself. Red Hair noticed Lu Sheng's unusual expression and quickly asked what was wrong. Lu Sheng shook his head and dismissed it as just some foolishness. In the afternoon, after reaching the high-speed train station and saying goodbye to Red Hair, Lu Sheng directly bought a ticket to White River City. Watching Lu Sheng's departing figure, Red Hair felt a ripple of emotion on her long-stilled face, wondering when they might meet again. Meanwhile, in a gymnasium in White River No. 1 Middle School, a pair of jade feet spun rapidly, ending with a right kick that knocked down an opponent. Lu Qinghe won the match. Because Lu Qinghe's practical skills were very high, the teacher encouraged other students to learn from Qinghe when they had free time. A close friend quickly approached with a smile and said, "Qinghe, you're too fierce. At this rate, you're surely going to be the city's martial champion." "Ouch, Qinghe, you're so amazing. Why don't you seem happy about it?" Qinghe replied, "If you had an older brother who's a national ascending dragon, you wouldn't feel so great comparing yourself to him either." Hearing the name Lu Sheng, her two friends' eyes lit up, and they hurriedly asked, "When is Lu Sheng coming back? Your brother said he'd treat us to a meal." Qinghe quickly made her escape, unable to stand their silly fangirling. Because she ran too fast without watching where she was going, she collided with someone in front, only to find it was her own brother appearing there unexpectedly. What a surprise. "Aren't you supposed to be in capital at this time? Did you come back specially to see me? And did you bring me any gifts?" With hopeful eyes, Lu Qinghe watched as Lu Sheng opened his hefty backpack. "Here, this is top-quality martial arts supplement to help you level up your skills." Lu Qinghe emotionlessly took the pill from his hand. "Bro, you really don't understand girls." Just then, a basketball flew at them at high speed but was caught single-handedly by Lu Sheng. "Qinghe, do you have enemies at school?" Qinghe shouted angrily. "It's you again." Li Zongheng ignored Qinghe's anger and confronted Lu Sheng. "Who are you?" Qinghe left a remark, "None of your business," and promptly pulled Lu Sheng away. Li Zongheng roared, "Lu Qinghe, stop right there. You might not like me, but you don't have to degrade yourself by being with some old man." "What the hell, old man? Is he talking about me? Me? At just 18 years old, have I become an old man?" Hearing the other party insulting her brother, Qinghe couldn't stand it any longer and delivered a flying kick right to Li Zongheng's groin. From Li Zongheng's expression, one could tell how painful it was. Lu Sheng was shocked and quickly asked, "Bro, are you okay?" Li Zongheng, in pain, gritted his teeth and managed to squeeze out a faint voice through clenched teeth. "Damn it, you actually hit me. Old man, you wait, I'll get someone to deal with you." After uttering his threat, he limped away. "Qinghe, is this the guy who's been chasing you?" "Yeah, he's been pestering me every other day. It's so annoying. If he wants to impress me, at the very least he has to be able to beat me." "Bro, do you think there are such boys in White River No. 1 Middle School?" Lu Sheng pondered for a moment then replied, "Hard to say. If you ever encounter someone who suddenly transfers to your school and is all mysterious, thinking about who knows what all day long, you'd better stay away from him." "Bro, are you sure you're not in the wrong movie set?" Then Qinghe laughed and asked, "Bro, how's it going with Sister Yang Yan? Have you held hands or watched a movie together? Have you played any private games? What on earth are you thinking about all day?" The next moment, from his sister, Lu Sheng learned that his high school buddy, Lu Qiming, had enlisted in the military after failing to get into an undergraduate martial university. He had wanted to say goodbye to Lu Sheng, but by that time, Lu Sheng had already gone to the capital. Hearing this, Lu Sheng checked his phone. What the hell? This Lu fatty has sent so many texts. Couldn't he just call? Meanwhile, in the military camp of the Eastern Military Region, Lu Qiming was washing clothes when suddenly a man kicked over his wash basin. "Hey, fatty, you're not being fair. There's a queue system here. Today it's your turn to wash my socks, not old Zhang's, right?" With a helpless expression, Lu Qiming endured the daily bullying from the veteran soldiers as a newbie. Seeing Lu Qiming remaining silent, the man shouted at him to get up. Just then, a text from Lu Sheng arrived, saying he would come by later and asking Lu Qiming to wait for him. Excited by the news that Lu Xing would soon be at the Eastern Military Region, Lu Qiming shouted out loud, then choked up with emotion. At that moment, the veteran turned and instructed Lu Qiming to remember to use Moonlight laundry detergent when washing the socks later. Seizing the moment, Lu Qiming suddenly stood up and swung his fist. "I'll wash your mom. Take this punch." The veteran, startled by such resistance, quickly raised his hand to block, and then retaliated with a punch that sent Lu Qiming flying. "Fatso, giving you a face, ha!" As Lu Qiming was sent flying, the veteran swiftly mounted him and started pummeling him. "You fat pig, thinking of rebelling, ha? Come on, show me some defiance. You, not even a proper martial artist, a total waste. Remember this, I'll beat you every time I see you." Damn, all this has me sweating. Standing in the back, the bespectacled man trembled in fear, only daring to rush forward to help Lu Qiming up after the veteran had left. "Are you okay? Why did you have to oppose him? He's been in the army for 2 years. It's just washing a few pairs of socks, right?" But Lu Qiming, despite being beaten up, chuckled. "Heh, you don't understand. My brother is the National Ascending Dragon, and he's going to be a general in the future. If I bowed my head today, later on, someone could use this to mock him. I can't disgrace him." However, the bespectacled man just thought the overweight man was delirious from the beating and was spouting nonsense. At this moment, Lu Sheng, after entering the dream world, immediately asked Ai to check Lu Qiming's information. Sure enough, it was different from what he had seen before. Perhaps due to his influence, Lu Qiming's life trajectory had also changed. Previously, he was supposed to attend a regular arts college and lead an ordinary life. But now, Lu Qiming had joined the military, and in these times, that wasn't just a stint of toughening up for 2 years. The mortality rate there was considerably high. He actually came back safely and was honorably discharged with first-class merits. After that, he started a logistics company, and by the age of 50, he was worth over 10 million. He had 2 daughters and 1 son and died peacefully at 90. It seems this future is quite good too. Maybe now I should stay away from him and not influence this future anymore. That would be the best for him. Lu Xing met with Yi Lingsu at the Lenxing Pharmaceutical Branch. Currently, the Hall of Benevolence branch has opened over 500 stores in Eastern Peace City and will next expand to other provinces. Then, Lingsu mentioned something that had been on her mind recently. "Recently, I've received reports that someone has been trying to sabotage us, though their actions haven't been significant yet. My investigation shows it's the Chen family from the capital." Lu Xing slowly took the document from her hands, and as expected, he was right. It indeed involved her mother's side of the family. If the Chen family in the capital really has some strength and status, then they should know that provoking you is equivalent to provoking me, and provoking me is a foolish act. Lu Xing waved his hand and reassured, "Don't worry, I'm here. Nothing will happen to you." Having not seen him for just 2 months, Lingsu always felt that Lu Xing was different from before. That absolute confidence, his composure and dominance, made him seem like a true big shot, assertive and supremely confident. Then, Lu Xing opened a box emanating a cyan aura. "This is the main reason for my return to White River City this time. I've exchanged my academic credits and purchased 40 doses of level 6 beast marrow liquid through internal channels of the Eastern Military Region, which will be combined into 120 doses of level 6 golden dragon saliva. This time, not to mention advancing to the 2nd stage of the immortal golden body. Even if it were a sun, I'd extinguish it outright." 2 days quickly passed, and Lu Sheng arrived at the White River City International Hotel, where he booked a suite for himself alone. 120 doses of golden dragon saliva were ready, and it was time to start advancing to the complete 2nd stage of the immortal golden body. To avoid being disturbed at home, he decided to book a hotel room instead. Just then, a beautiful woman walked by. Lu Xing immediately focused on her. Her vital energy and blood were like a blazing furnace, and her essence surged like smoke from a fire. She was actually a grandmaster. Grandmasters were rare, especially in White River City. The lady's eyes flickered unusually as she noticed Lu Xing too. The female grandmaster requested the presidential suite. Her powerful aura frightened the receptionist. Lu Xing could sense that her vital energy and blood were slightly weaker than Vice Principal Zhao and Xia Pingnan. He believed he could easily overpower her if he went all out, but as she posed no threat, there was no need for excessive attention. However, the blonde woman's gaze naturally noticed Lu Xing too. "Report, all is well. I've reached the target location, but I encountered an interesting little guy when checking in." The person on the phone was very interested and quickly asked who it was. "Don't know, but he seems quite capable. Might be someone from Dark Star. Whatever, I'm here on vacation anyway, and just to complete a small task. If anyone tries to ruin my holiday and fun, I'll just devour them." Lu Xing laughed heartily as he entered the hotel. "This bathtub is really nice, big enough to fit all the golden dragon saliva." The next moment, Lu Xing slowly submerged in the water, with a golden dragon circling above his head, occasionally emitting deep dragon roars. As the golden aura spread through his meridians across his body, Lu Xing knew he was about to break through. In another presidential suite, a delicate foot stepped gracefully onto the bathroom floor, revealing a pattern of a clock on her back. "He, the little mouse with the gold mine, seems to have noticed me, daring to sneak away, but sadly, you can't escape. My vacation starts now. After soaking and cultivating for 2 hours, Lu Xing finally perfected the second stage of the immortal golden body. Lu Xing slowly stood up and summoned the holy spear, and with the holy spear, he made a cut on his arm, which remained completely unharmed. Nice. Now even a grandmaster of cold weapons would struggle to breach my defenses. The next realm is the vital energy and blood of a great grandmaster. Lu Xing's path now differs entirely from that of the martial artists of this era, perhaps even from those in the dreamscape future. It is his own path. The current levels of realm classification are nearly inapplicable to Lu Xing. At this moment, Lu Xing truly stands at the threshold of the 7th level grandmaster, but he feels it is not yet time. Achieving grandmaster status now would cause a sensation, even frightening great grandmasters, and would likely scare off lesser beings. Elsewhere, a man and a little girl hurried into a taxi, urgently asking the driver to take them to the suburbs of the West District. As the car drove under a bridge, the man's sense of danger vanished. Had they escaped pursuit? He then offered to pay the driver 3 times the fare to drop them off there and asked the driver not to disclose their whereabouts to anyone. The driver pinched his face hard and smirked. Triple is probably not enough. Then, under the man's horrified gaze, the driver transformed into the blonde woman from earlier. Got you, little mouse. The man was terrified, recognizing the figure as Bai Shifu. Lu Xing's speed by now was tremendously improved, passing by so fast that not even a shadow was seen. Later, Lu Xing paused at an abandoned chemical plant, sensing a strong presence with a touch of malevolent power. Could it be that female grandmaster? Elsewhere, the blonde woman was unleashing tremendous vital energy and blood, playing a game of eagle catches chicks with a man. Holding his unconscious daughter, the man screamed for help, while the blonde woman relished the thrill of the hunt. The father desperately protected his daughter with his body, but the female grandmaster kept kicking him. Hey, little mouse, why aren't you running? She taunted as she broke the man's thigh with another kick. The little girl, choking back sobs, yelled at the woman, "Bad woman, don't bully my daddy." With that, the little girl started pummeling the grandmaster's chest with her tiny fists. The female grandmaster mocked, "Wow, the little one's got spirit. Little mouse, I'll give you 10 minutes to come clean, or your daughter's head will bloom." The man, trembling, begged the woman to let his daughter go first. "Those secrets are etched in my brain, known only to me. Don't think you can torture them out of me. I have poison in my mouth and can die at any moment." As soon as he finished speaking, a jade hand reached for the man's mouth and forcefully removed a black, highly poisonous tooth from his teeth. "Talk now. You no longer have the chance to negotiate. You better be honest, or this thing might just find its way into your daughter's mouth next." "No, I'll talk. Just then, a size 46 shoe appeared, and in the next moment, under the grandmaster's horrified gaze, the little girl was in Lu Xing's hands. "What's going on? I figured you were up to something fishy. You there, you're grown up and yet you can't leave a little kid alone. Do you really deserve to be a grandmaster acting like this?" The woman, surprised, asked Lu Xing if he was with Dark Star, but noticing that he lacked a grandmaster's aura around him, Lu Xing flashed behind her and said lightly, "I am the sun." The female grandmaster couldn't even see Lu Xing's speed, and before she could react, Lu Xing's large palm was already striking her. He grabbed the woman's face and slammed her into the ground, the force of the impact creating flames in the air like a meteor falling. Just as the woman tried to speak, Lu Xing exerted force again, turning her head into another meteor crashing into the ground. After a violent explosion, Lu Xing slowly let go of his hand. "What, is she dead just like that?" This one was too weak. The man, seeing that he had escaped the wolf's den only to enter a tiger's lair, screamed in terror, I'll tell you right now where that thing is. Please let us go. It's a dense gold mine. The coordinates are..." Before he could finish, Lu Xing interrupted him and turned to leave. "I really don't care about that thing you're talking about." The man was even more astonished. If he didn't care about the dense gold mine, why did he bother to rescue us and kill the ring seal assassin? Lu Xing then said he was just passing by and acted out of a sense of justice. "Since you're fine, I'll be on my way. The dream space has the locations of all the dense gold mines in the world. Do I really need to bother with this one?" The man tenderly touched his daughter's forehead and said, "We're saved." Then, he suddenly spat out a mouthful of tomato juice, signaling his daughter to quickly leave the area and take care of herself. "Dad's ribs are broken, many of them. I probably can't walk." The next moment, the man was helped up. "Big brother, you're back. Little bro, this. Ah well, might as well send the Buddha all the way to the west. Can't just watch you die here." After bringing them back to the hotel, Lu Xing helped heal the man's injuries, then handed him a bottle of supplement to drink later. "You'll feel better when you wake up tomorrow." Seeing this, the man asked his daughter to go back to the room and sleep. Dad needs to talk with the young man for a bit. Next, Lu Xing placed a ring on the table and said, "This is the female grandmaster's token." He asked the man to explain what ring seal was and what the woman's mention of Dark Star meant. The man explained that Ring Seal and Dark Star are mysterious international organizations with unclear motives, active all over the world. It was said that Ring Seal operates at the Grandmaster level, with even stronger levels above like King Seal and even Divine Seal. Their current mission was related to the dense gold mine. Damn, Ring Seal is at the Grandmaster level. That means above them are the Great Grandmaster and even Marshal martial saint, right? Lu Xing mused. I'll have to check in the dream space. In an era where martial arts flourish, dark forces won't be weak. Martial arts foster people's ambitions, and there will always be those who aspire to contend with the world's mainstream powers. Then, Lu Xing asked, what will you do next? They will continue to hunt you, right? The man replied, we'll take it one step at a time. You've already done us a great service by saving us. I can't drag you into this further. At that moment, Lu Xing chuckled and said he had a permanent solution. Trusting Lu Xing's ingenious plan, the man listened intently. After a few taps on his phone, Lu Xing announced, there, no one will chase you now. Shocked, the man asked, just like that? Lu Xing opened the map with a casual smile. So easy. I just published the location of the dense gold mine online. Hearing this, the man was speechless. Such a valuable asset worth billions, just casually disclosed online. Meanwhile, Ring Seal headquarters noticed the disappearance of the 9th ring signal, causing a stir. We might have been negligent. After all, that man has the dense gold mine as a bargaining chip. Getting some help wouldn't be difficult. Just then, he was shocked again, because the internet was buzzing with news about the dense gold mine, infuriating the people at Ring Seal headquarters. He actually published the location. We lost so many people for that dense gold mine. Was it all for nothing? Truly a clever move. Now that everyone knows the location of the dense gold, that man is no longer of value. The leader, enraged, ordered his subordinates to thoroughly investigate the leak, daring to mock Ring Seal. Throw him into the sea to feed the pigs. The news of the dense gold mine quickly went viral, making headlines. Red-haired man trembled as he watched Lu Xing, thinking, does this young man not understand the value of the dense gold mine? Or is it that he knows, but simply doesn't care? Given his strength, the latter seems more likely. Since the storm was about to pass, Lu Xing instructed the man, check out of the hotel tomorrow and stay somewhere else for a few days. Wait for this storm to pass before you reappear. Hearing that they would leave, the little girl trotted out, choking up as she said, big brother, will we ever see each other again? Lu Xing gently touched the little girl's forehead. We will, definitely. Ring Seal acted swiftly, and by the next day, they had investigated the death site of the female grandmaster. They couldn't believe that 9th ring would be so weak. Judging by the scene, it wasn't that there was no resistance, but rather that resistance was utterly futile. The hole was deep, as if made by a pile driver, but who could imagine that it was created by smashing a living person's head into the ground, and that too a grandmaster's head. Truly mad and violent. Yellow Hair, trembling, asked, should we continue to investigate? Buzzcut replied directly, investigate my ass. Let's go back. Even she, an enhanced aberrant martial artist by the organization, met such a grim fate, let alone now that the dense gold mine's location has been spread. This mission is dangerous and offers no benefits. If you want to investigate, be my guest. I'm out. On the other side, after returning, Lu Xing went directly into the dream realm to check on several major organizations. Unexpectedly, besides Dark Star, Ring Seal, and Black Magic Society, there were more than a dozen other such large and small mysterious organizations. Even after 10,000 years of martial arts, there are still signs of ongoing activity, definitely overseen by martial saints. But martial saints aren't just casually developed, it's likely there is a national apparatus behind them. Ring Seal has been dedicated to the research of aberrant martial artists, causing numerous sensational international incidents, and has been pursued jointly by various countries. An aberrant martial artist is created by transplanting exotic beast genes into martial artists, generating beings with much greater strength than their peers, potentially multiple times stronger. However, the downside is that both consciousness and body are subject to erosion and transformation, like a ticking time bomb that could go off at any moment. No wonder it felt odd fighting that female grandmaster yesterday. They've already started using this technology. Could this also be related to the previous exotic beast invasion? Since I can see it, the national leaders must know as well. I'll leave it to them to handle. Although the path of the aberrant martial artist is somewhat unconventional, Lu Xing feels it is not entirely without merit and considers visiting the lab to see it for himself. Following that, Lu Xing decided to see what would become of the father and daughter. Gu Luyan, the head of the International Criminal Investigation Division, an 8th-level grandmaster, devoted her life to tracking down organizations such as Ring Seal, Dark Star, and Black Magic Society, personally killing or imprisoning over 800 terrorists. Lu Xing exclaimed, I didn't expect to casually save an international elite. Gu Luyan harbored unrequited love for Lu Xing, the complete martial saint of the Dragon Nation, and thus remained unmarried for life. Ah, what's this situation? That's too brutal, truly despicable. I shouldn't have looked at these messy records. It's damaging my moral integrity. I definitely won't look again. Now that the matter was resolved, it was time to deal with the scum, Lian Yi. Lu Xing then went to the home of Fu Jianming, whose entire family had been killed by Lian Yi and his son. A woman answered the door. When Lu Xing said he was looking for Fu Jianming, the woman's expression became extremely agitated, claiming she didn't know him and immediately tried to close the door. Lu Xing blocked the door with his foot, and the woman yelled, asking what he wanted. Lu Xing confirmed the address was correct and asked if they had lived here previously. The woman angrily told Lu Xing to leave, saying they no longer lived there and threatened threatened to call the police if he didn't go. Lucian stated he had no interest in her house, at which point the woman, trembling, said, "That guy by the garbage heap is Fu Jianming. He's been crazy since his family died. I didn't steal his house, okay?" Seeing Lucian leave, the woman breathed a sigh of relief, thinking Lucian had come to fight her for the house. Soon, Lucian saw an old man ahead, but the photo he had made him fall into deep thought because the person before him looked vastly different from the one in the photo. Fu Jianming. The old man turned around, his body dirty and his beard white, in stark contrast to the handsome young man in the photo. It seemed as if he had aged a century in a short time. Originally, Fu Jianming's family of 4 was happy until his younger daughter, Fu Shua, was forcibly taken away by the son of Lian Jibei. His elder daughter, Fu Ying, went to argue at the Extreme Way martial arts branch and never returned. A week later, 2 ragged female corpses were found on a riverbank outside the city, their deaths extremely tragic. Later, his wife died by suicide due to the shock. Now, of the family of 4, only this 46-year-old white-haired old man remains alive. When the old man heard Lucian calling him, he became alert, thinking Lucian wanted to steal from him. Lucian kindly explained that he was a classmate of Fu Ying and had specifically come to see him. Hearing he was Fu Ying's classmate, the old man's attitude softened, but in the next moment he shouted again, "Nonsense! I have contacted all of Fu Ying's friends from childhood to adulthood. I remember every one of them clearly. You are definitely not one. Are you trying to rob me? I remember every face. Ha ha ha. Don't think you can fool me. They all said they didn't see Fu Ying. How could they not see her?" Saying this, the old man's angry shout turned into crying. Seeing this, Lucian patted the old man's shoulder apologetically, saying he had lied just now, but he wasn't trying to deceive him. He really came to help. Hearing that someone had come to help him, the old man's eyes lit up, and he eagerly asked if Lucian was a powerful martial artist. Upon receiving a positive response, the old man danced with excitement. "I have seen so many martial artists. I can tell at a glance that you must be a powerful one." Then the old man began to rummage through many cans and some leftover food, wanting to give these precious items to Lucian. Lucian did not catch the items. The garbage fell to the ground. The old man asked why Lucian did not catch them. "Is my sincerity not enough? These are all my belongings, and if that's still not enough, I still have my life to sell for money." Lucian looked at the old man before him, feeling an indescribable sorrow. If his own family had encountered such a tragedy, would his father also have ended up like this? Seeing Lucian's indifference, the old man collapsed to his knees. "It seems you're not here to help me either. You must be sent by the Extreme Way Martial Arts School to mock me, to see if I'm dead yet. Don't worry, I won't die easily. I want to see them go to hell with my own eyes." Suddenly, Lucian picked up a photo from the ground and took it with him. Before leaving, Lucian left a harsh word, promising that the old man would see it happen. Although the old man thought Lucian was just comforting him, he still thanked him. Walking out of the alley, Lucian was stopped by a chubby man. The chubby man noted that it had been a long time since anyone had come looking for that old madman. Seeing Lucian's puzzled expression, the chubby man continued to explain that many people used to come by, but most were just conning him out of his money. In the first few years, the old madman sought revenge, paying anyone who showed a bit of martial arts prowess, but who would dare actually help him? After all, it involved the Extreme Way Martial Arts School. Eventually, the old madman was swindled out of everything he owned, went mad, and had to live in a garbage heap after his house was taken. It's just because you didn't take that old madman's money and seemed like a good person that I'm even talking to you. Ah, right. What do you want with that old madman? Don't tell me you actually want a medal. Lucian calmly said, "Yes, I will go to the Extreme Way Martial Arts School and kill them." Hearing this, the chubby man was shocked. Elsewhere, inside the 7th St. Martial University, a man in a purple robe spoke. "Do you know that Lucian didn't go to Bright City?" The vice-chancellor certainly knew. Lucian has taken on 2 tasks this time, one AA and one AAA, both around the capital. The man in the purple robe continued. "Lian Yi is in Bright City. He could have gone there directly, but he deliberately went out of his way to Southern Peace. Thus, Lucian's intentions are clear. He is deliberately avoiding Lian Yi, sidestepping the second choice given by Martial Saint, which is the real test to become a Martial Saint disciple. But seeking fortune and avoiding calamity is human nature." The vice-chancellor said it's still too early to draw conclusions, as there is still some time before the National Collegiate Martial Arts Tournament, but not many days are left. Martial Saint do not have the habit of giving second chances. The vice-chancellor also frowned. Indeed, not much time remained. At this time, inside the 7th St. Martial University, everyone looked at the large screen in surprise because they had all heard that Xiaolan had completed a AA task this time. Seeing this murderous intent, it seems his strength has improved a lot, because AA tasks are unthinkable for ordinary students. The girl with twin ponytails certainly knows that Xiaolan's rush back this time is for the biennial martial arts tournament. Such a warlike person would not miss it. But Purple Hair helplessly stated, "Coming back is useless. With Lu Sheng, the Demon King, around, everyone else is just a foil. But there is one advantage. They can rely on his strength, and this year our 7th St. Martial University will not be at the bottom again." However, the girl with twin ponytails waved her hand saying Lu Sheng Sheng will not participate this year, which shocked Purple Hair for 2 seconds. The girl with twin ponytails also isn't very clear. Some rumors were revealed to her by her father. She only knew that martial saint's test for Lu Sheng was not to participate in the martial arts tournament. If he participates, then the test is considered a failure. Only by tackling the legendary 3S task can it be possible. Purple Hair got angry. It's rare for our school to show off this year. What are these leaders doing? It's not necessary to suppress Lu Sheng's brilliance like this. Although the girl with twin ponytails doesn't know what the legendary 3S task is, martial saint's considerations are not something we can speculate on. Helpless Purple Hair could only impotently roar and punch the wall because he vividly remembered the last time the Extreme Way Martial Arts School's twin stars swept the 7 St. Martial Universities, leaving no face for the 7 St. Martial Universities. Is it going to be so humiliating this year again? Damn it, we were originally counting on Lu Sheng to fight back, and now, just before graduation, we have to be thrashed again. Seeing her boyfriend so irate, the girlfriend could only comfort him. It's okay, once you get used to being thrashed, it won't hurt as much. At the same time, Lu Sheng was also walking towards the school gate. His phone received a text message stating that students participating in the martial arts tournament must gather at the school entrance in 3 days. Those who are late or absent will be considered to have voluntarily forfeited. Lu Sheng knew that this message was probably deliberately written for him to see, and he had noticed it already. From the moment he entered the school, there had always been a group of people monitoring his every move. However, rather than surveillance, it seemed more like they were checking to see if he would leave the school. It seems they all don't want me to go, but the path I, Lu Sheng, choose to walk isn't something you can control. Not the 7 St. Martial Universities, nor the martial saints. Time quickly advanced to 3 days later, and students gradually gathered at the gate. The vice-chancellor felt relieved not seeing Lu Sheng's figure, thinking that the kid finally didn't disappoint him. But other students felt differently. These hardcore fans of Lu Sheng had already begun fantasizing about Lu Sheng tearing apart those from the martial arts schools. Hearing these students' expectations, Purple Hair felt embarrassed, although he also hoped Lu Sheng would come. Compared to the inheritance of the martial saint, anyone would know which to choose. Seeing the vice-chancellor's calm demeanor, he probably hoped for the same outcome for Lu Sheng. The vice-chancellor looked nervously at his watch. It was almost 8 o'clock, and it seemed that Lu Sheng really wasn't coming. Just then, a loud roar came from the sky. Lu Sheng is here. As the ground exploded, the entire school was undoubtedly ecstatic, except for the vice-chancellor who was crying. Lu Sheng, why did you come? The vice-chancellor wanted to scold him, but the words wouldn't come out. Lu Sheng slowly spoke. Sorry, I'm late. The vice-chancellor, hoping until the last moment, said, the martial arts tournament has just started. Maybe it's not too late for you to leave now. Lu Sheng replied, Vice-chancellor, no need. It's all in the mind, as you once told me. The surrounding students were undoubtedly shouting to welcome the return of the great demon king. The car made several turns towards the mysterious venue in the mountains, while the counselor asked all students to change into the uniform school attire. A 7th level grandmaster's vital energy and blood is like a furnace, and then the martial will forms a grandmaster stance. But what about an 8th level great grandmaster? I've seen from the dream space before that after the 8th level, vital energy and blood congeals into a pill, with vital energy and blood values casually above 100,000, as mighty as rivers, hot as magma, even melting steel. A single move is a 1,000-fold battle power. It seems the leap from grandmaster to great grandmaster is truly a qualitative transformation. Although Lu Sheng has not yet reached the grandmaster realm, he is just one step away from condensing blood into a pill and can step into it at any moment. However, once a great grandmaster condenses the blood pill, their physique continues to strengthen with the continual refinement from the blood pill. Thus, the longer one remains in the great grandmaster realm, the stronger their physique becomes, even maintaining peak bodily functions. Thinking of this, Lu Sheng touched his heart, realizing he also needed to hurry up. The physique of a great grandmaster combined with martial will unleash his power far greater than the simple sum of its parts. 2 hours later, the car finally reached the tournament location at Cumulus Mountain, and Lu Sheng's arrival undoubtedly made him the center of attention. Students from other academies inevitably turned their gaze towards him, and although various schools gathered here, not everyone could go to the mountaintop to watch live. Most ordinary people had to stay at the base to watch the live broadcast. The vice-chancellor gathered all participants from the 7 St. Martial Universities and arranged for the ascent, instructing the students to keep close to his pace. As the students excitedly responded, a streak of green light flew overhead, its speed so fast that even the vice-chancellor, with his prowess, couldn't clearly see who it was. Of course, it was definitely Lu Sheng. He was acutely aware that he might inevitably face confrontation with a martial saint, so he had to race against time to prepare before the start. Although he had not yet reached the grandmaster realm, as long as the martial saint didn't personally intervene, the rest were unlikely to instantly defeat him, allowing Lu Sheng to continue leveling up by stepping on them, eventually becoming so strong that not even Zhao Ji could shake him, even potentially twisting off the martial saint's head to use as a stool.